Those are some loaded words there. Did you unpause it? Yeah. Okay, this is podcast number, I think, 5. Because the first one was like 2 segments, and then
I had to.
No, do that again. What was the theme? What's the theme?
I'm not sure. Something happened right in my neck, so I thought I'd play it off like I was good.
I'm really sorry about this.
We're working it out, so.
It's a studio. Studio issues. Got to talk to Warner Brothers and Sony. They're not picking up their slack. Okay. All right. Great. What are we going to talk about today?
Well, we got a few inboxes
Hi,
from
Tammy.
a few people, some viewers. We did cover, I think...
Want to close that door?
No. We did cover, was it last week or the podcast before, where one of our viewers was asking us...
The podcast before.
Okay. So give an overview, because we actually have the screenshots.
Okay, so a couple podcasts ago, if you missed it, we had an anonymous person write in and ask if we could talk about what our opinion is if this was infidelity or not. And so the whole synopsis is him and his fiance were having issues, and he was just talking to a friend, and allegedly the issue the fiance had was she was referred to as it, and so he didn't have the conversation at the time, and now he sent it to me this week
because it was difficult for us to figure out really the dynamic of what was said, because you're going through a message, a third party, and you don't know the details of what was said or what led up to it or the responses or whatever. So he sent them to you this week, and we had a chance to read them.
I read them, and then she read them.
I just read them.
She just read them. It's hot off the press.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed with what I read, because I really was under the impression, and this is just a really great example of,
broken telephone.
Yes, and how things can get so...
Because remember how if you didn't see, she was really heated, she was getting hot. I had to fan her. Remember you were like...
Yeah, but why though?
What?
Well, why?
Because you thought the context of it
was
there had
way
to be
worse.
More. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Or we were getting into something else, and yeah.
And we weren't sure because I hadn't read it and she hadn't read it.
Right. So we didn't understand.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Chris. We didn't understand what was really behind the messages. We didn't know the meat and potatoes. We just got the Coles notes. So now we have somewhat of the screenshots.
We just got the Cole note, not even the Coles. It wasn't even plural.
Yes, and again, I'm a little disappointed with what I read. I didn't feel as though there was much to the screenshots. The conversation didn't seem that inappropriate. I really did not get the impression that...
would you have got mad? Or vex, because that's a trainee term.
No, what would have vexed me the most, I think, out of the situation is the fact that this person felt comfortable enough to air my personal business to another female that I don't know about. But again...
But it wasn't really a lot.
It wasn't a lot, but that's what would vex me about the whole thing.
Exactly.
There was nothing really more to the messages. There was nothing inappropriate to make me feel as though he was being, he was being inappropriate, or he was trying to get in her pants, or he was trying to, go smash something on the side, or...
Smash.
Well, I'm just saying,
help us out.
Have sex with...
We're getting banned now.
Well, come on, stop.
Well, these are the new lingo. That's the new lingo. I'm old school, remember? 10 years difference. So smash is the appropriate term now.
Not appropriate, it's just what it is.
What is it?
Having intercourse with another person.
We got that, but okay, never mind. Just go on. Just go on.
You need more?
No.
Okay.
Don't break it down. I got it.
Okay, so make a long story short, There was none of that I could see, unless there was some screenshots that were missing out of the pile. But
there was nowhere to go. I was actually, honestly, yawning.
Yeah, it wasn't that juicy. I think the fiance, was more irritated with the fact that, the guy aired her personal business to this friend, and it just sounds to me that she was probably looking for a green ticket out, because it really wasn't that serious. So the fact that she was probably, not happy for a long time and wanting an excuse to kind of exit stage left, this probably could have been her ticket to really say, you know what? Oh, look, you cut the apple wrong and you threw away the core when I told you not to, and we're done. Yeah.
What I was also going to say is we're getting surface too, right? Because there were already issues.
Layers.
Prior to this conversation, which, because it was already on rocky terms. So, I don't know. It depends on what the other...
There's so much. That's why it's very difficult to comment on somebody else's relationship, because there are so many layers. There's so many facets that people don't get to see or experience unless you're actually in it. So, yeah, we can offer...
And we're only getting one
side. It's amazing how that works. Which turns us around.
There's 3 sides to a story. Yours.
Oh, thank you, Mark. It must
be
the truth. It must be the halo. Mark says that we both look beautiful.
Halo. He missed your first part. That's why. That you said you had a halo and you're sharing it with me, the dark side.
See, guys. Exhibit A. Her darkness will not penetrate my light. That was deep. That was deep.
Off camera, you're getting a beat down. That's what that was. That's what that was. An invitation.
So segue into, another person who had commented and had suggested that we do a podcast about...
relationships seem to be the big hot topic. Because we try to talk about other things, and it's oh no, we're going back. There's a fork in the road. Yeah. Here we are again. So here we are again, talking about relationships. Hot topic.
So we were thinking about the segue of, can a relationship survive infidelity? Bum, bum, bum. Dun, 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 dun. And your response would be?
I don't know.
Oh, no, see, you can't. You can't. That's not allowed.
No, honestly, it's going back to the same initial conversation. It depends on, I'm not sure. This one's a hard one.
No, it's not.
It really is.
Why?
Because I'm sure it's not, I don't know. I know there's people out there that have deal breakers, and that's number 1 on the list.
Sometimes.
Right? However, again, there are so many layers involved, so I don't know. For me, it would be a hard one.
Be a hard one for what?
To get over that.
But not impossible.
Okay.
Is that a yes or a no?
That's, I'm not sure. What? Well, there's 2 people here. What's your stance?
Can a relationship survive infidelity? I believe so, if both people
and
end up vibrating on the same frequency and overstand.
Can you stop saying overstand?
So you don't want to talk, and you want to be all salt prunish over in your corner with the dark cloud, and then when I speak,
why is all darkness?
See how this works? I will not allow it. Okay, I will not allow it.
Field. Oh, that is not. Cannot penetrate. My hand is actually filtering into the white wall.
See that? You have issues.
I'm not sure that's correct. I'm not sure that's correct. Oh. On a side note, remember she was mocking? Yes.
There was no mocking.
Mocking. You acted astonished. There was a look of astonishment on your face when I did figure skating. You were like, you did figure skating? Like, you should have seen your face.
I'll play it back because it was on video, but I don't think it was that bad.
It was like really like you were shocked and almost appalled.
Wow.
So what I did, I went home
Oh, she did.
And I digged through the crates. And I found...
She's been wearing it ever since.
No, that's not true. And I brought it because just in case you thought I just superimposed a picture.
I really didn't think anything.
Well, look, this is... See, my mom sewed all these on.
Oh, Mama.
And see?
Congratulations. That's a wonderful...
And I would have continued if I didn't move to Trinidad, but there's no ice there, so couldn't. Okay, back to our regular schedule program.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Do you need a hug?
No,
okay.
Thank you.
All right, so we're good. I don't even know where we were.
No, what was your opinion? You said yes,
I was
you
telling
could.
it, but then you cut me off.
No, something about vibration on frequency and overstanding.
Do you see why I can't stand her?
Which is not a word. How do you overstand?
Like it's beyond understanding.
Over.
So, like I don't understand. I overstand. I know it's a lot for you. I know. I get it. It's okay. It's okay.
Dictionary
I'll talk you
of
through
Wendy.
this. I'm with the times. You're with the dinosaur times. Yeah, you're like, oh, so what does smash mean? Like everybody watching is like, oh God, Karen.
No, I'm pretty sure the people that are my age are like, yeah, do tell.
They all have children in this era who speak this way, so they're not
really. Oh, your
shocked.
children use words like smash? I don't think so.
I think you should ask Jalen what smash means.
I'm pretty
sure
sure
Mom,
he doesn't
don't
know.
Speak to me like that.
Yeah, he'll be like, I'm not sure what you're saying.
How much money do you want to make a bet that your son will look at you and be like, ew, don't touch me. Gross. Anyway.
He's probably not going to want to talk about it with
me. Because
he'll change the subject.
Are we going to cover this, or are you going to continue to be
all
go ahead.
like... Go ahead about your infidelity and overstanding. Go ahead. I'm waiting.
You're such a hater.
Now I'm a hater.
You are.
So, Dark Cloud.
Yes. Hater.
Hater.
Yes.
What
Keep
else?
going.
Dinosaur.
Yes. Yes. Keep going.
I'm not sure. I lost count.
Hold on, we're gonna rewind. We'll be right back.
Could you survive the infidelity?
If both people could overstand,
oh God,
yes, the reasons as to why the infidelity took place in the first place, and are willing and wanting to stay plugged in to work out the relationship, yes. Sometimes I feel like in certain circumstances, an act of infidelity can actually bring two people closer, and then there's other yeah, you probably wouldn't
Chris
either,
said
Chris.
He's trying to overstand here.
We know Chris.
Me too, Chris. Me too.
And then there's other times where it's such a deal breaker and such a level of disrespect that the other person just can't come back from it. And
what's that level?
Again, I think something similar to what happened with our viewer. Like if there's already problems in the relationship, or somebody's not feeling valued, or there's a series of things that led up to this level of disrespect, because being cheated on is horrible. I mean, on every level, not just for the person who's committing the act, but obviously for the person who gets cheated on.
What's your view on emotional cheating?
Worse.
Ooh, okay.
That's
I'll put
worse.
That away.
No, it's totally worse for a woman, at least, because we're emotional beings. Men can.
I forgot we actually have mics. I could have just actually.
Men can. From what I have experienced and what I've gathered in my years of existence.
My mic's not even on. Oh my God, it was all the way down here.
Yeah, because you're so busy being a salt prune. Anyway, again, like, I feel as though it's shown that many men can have intercourse without feeling. Like they can just...
Or smash.
They can smash and they can move on without any attachment.
I feel so cool now. And how do you know? You're not a man. So how do you know they can do that without attachment?
I don't need to be a man to know. I don't need to be a man to observe and to experience what my other friends have talked about or shown me or gone through. To be a man.
Well, okay.
And there's some women that feel that way too. Some women flex like that as well.
Flex. Define.
Listen, unless you want to start bleeping some bloopers out of here.
Bleepers.
Yeah. So yes, do I believe that emotional cheating is worse? For sure.
You're like so far away.
I know, but like the spotlight's killing me right now. Sometimes
we fired our lighting technician. So
you can get over the actual act of infidelity if you know that the person, especially for a man, it's just a physical thing. Didn't mean anything. It was just more like, you hear it all the time. My wife is going through something and we haven't had sex in like a year or 2 years, whatever. I just met this girl. I was horny. I didn't mean nothing. Bam. It's different having like a one night stand versus a full blown affair. I think those dynamics are obviously need to be taken into consideration too, in terms of when you're talking about infidelity in a relationship. Is it a one-time, two-time thing, or is it a full-blown double life? I'm leading, for years. My wife doesn't know about it. Like those things they're definite deal breakers or definite facts that need to be talked about.
Or I guess people can work through that too.
I don't know how.
It can be done.
I'm not saying it can't. But for me personally, I can probably forgive, an indiscretion that I know didn't really mean much. It was just depending on what's the word? Depending on the details involved versus, sorry, I've been having an affair on you for years and here's this child I have out of wedlock, or, just those type of dynamics where you thought you knew your husband or you thought you knew your partner and you find out that you really didn't know anything that was going on. That's a whole level of disrespect, so for myself I don't think I'd be able to get over that. But again, I'll go back to this whole cheating thing. It's never about the person that's being cheated on. It's always about the person who's cheating. So unfortunately, it ends up being the person who gets cheated on. They're the person who has to carry it and really do most of the work in terms of forgiving the person for what they did, because it's so devastating. But really and truly, it's the person who chooses to hurt the one that they love. That's the one that should be really kind of not suffering, but they should be the ones that have to carry most of that.
The unfortunate part is for them is typically a person who cheats, they say that they're insecure.
For sure.
It's a form of insecurity. So, however, they also have to understand that at some point, karma's going to get, because you remember the karma thing is, you're making your karma bad by cheating, so something's going to come back to you.
Mm-hmm.
And the other person just has to not react to it.
Mm-hmm. It's tough.
So the forgiveness part, I guess, is good, because then you're not messing your karma up. And then the person at some point will have to realize it might not come back in that exact form, but
what do you think in terms of
your sister?
Hi, sis. What do you think in terms of emotional cheating versus physical? Is there a difference for you? Or are they both equal?
They're both bad. But I understand, emotional is probably worse. But they're both high up there.
And why would you say emotional is worse?
Because of what you said, when you're doing the act, you don't emotionally have to be there. You can tune out, but when you're emotionally cheating, that's mental. That's a huge part of a relationship, I think. Your relationship should be based mostly on emotional and mental, right? Aspects of it, because you're not physical 24 hours a day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a connection with someone emotionally and you're engaging with that person and you're enjoying that time, that's a lot of mental space.
And it's very pre-planned. It's very thought out. I think that's the part that gets me. It's the one night stands. I was at a bar, I drank too much, saw this girl, blah blah, I take it back, I don't mean it, that's one level of disrespect that, okay, yeah, it hurts, but I could probably get over that should that happen once. Okay. But the emotional attachment, like you said, where this person is on their lunch breaks or first thing in the morning or right before they go to bed or all day long, or they're squeezing in phone calls and sharing intimate details of their lives, and just checking in and having these moments with this person that they're not necessarily sharing with their wife or their husband. It's like that is a tough one to
Slippery
swallow.
slope.
Yeah, it's very tough. So I don't know. I could see the level of devastation could be huge, especially for a woman, because we're wired very differently, I think, than men. And a lot of women will admit that they feel alone sometimes in their relationships, whether they're married or they're not. It's like because they can't open up and talk to a man the same way they possibly, I guess, could share with their girlfriends or with their sisters or with another female in their life. So they end up feeling very isolated and lonely. So to find out that your man, who's not speaking to you, is sharing those things with another woman is like, wow, that's huge. So yeah, and maybe that's really kind of what, going back to our person who screenshot or sent us the screenshots, maybe that's one of the reasons why the fiance just felt like it was a deal breaker, because
or she interpreted whatever those conversations were infidelity.
Like,
because
you
in
won't
her
talk to
mind,
me
yeah,
at
like
all,
you're not,
but you're going to talk to this girl with all of these things, right?
yeah, and she's not sharing that with you, but yet you're talking to the other person about the fact that she's not sharing that with you.
Yeah. I think communication really is key in everything, in every relationship, whether it be marriage or just friendship or family or whatever, even with your children. Like, communication is really everything, just keeping everything open and everyone feeling as though, they're in a safe space to be able to talk things out and to come and share things and stuff. And once that kind of closes, it's a difficult situation to be in. It's hard.
Agreed.
Yeah. So I think we covered that.
Yep.
Can you explain that?
That's like
Cut.
all areas covered. We're good.
Before we take it to a different level that
Yeah.
we can't get back
Right.
from. So yeah, so I'm just, it was great that we had a few viewers throughout the week leave some DMs and some comments and stuff about.
And it was positive feedback, which is, I'm thankful about that they actually like it.
Hey, any feedback is feedback. It is what it is.
But I like it.
Yeah.
That it's positive.
Yes. See the halo? It's rubbing off on her now. So, again.
Anyone who can pull off, this is fluorescent lighting that we're dealing with right now. Like harsh fluorescent lighting.
If you guys have any topics or comments or feedback, feel free. Leave it in the comment section or even in the inbox, either one of us. We will get to it. We will definitely.
And we will respect, if you don't want to be, we respect people's privacy. If you want to be anonymous, that's fine too. We get it. Sensitive topics, so.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. We can take the strobe light off now. It's like when like when you're at a club and then the lights come on and you're like, oh, that's who I was talking to the whole night. Like, oh my god. Yeah, it's like that.
I don't think it's that bad.
Well, it feels that bad.
I know.
It feels like, honestly, the club just ended and the lights came on.
Yeah, we're working on it because this situation was either it was way too dim, so we would have been like in this Halloween.
I'm gonna get one of those rings, like there's like these camera rings that like it's a fluorescent, but you put it behind so that it's not like
I understand.
Yeah.
So
we'll work on that overstand.
Yes, yeah. And we'll work on a couple things.
But you know what I do want to talk about?
Ooh.
Well, like the multiracial thing that we were talking about last week, it really, I didn't even realize, like,
It's a thing.
it's a big thing.
And I think because we started talking about it, we noticed how
Yeah,
many other people
see,
are
then
in,
it's
yeah.
like, it's not just us. We're not alone. And, you know, Meghan Markle, but I guess she's the Duchess of Sussex now. Is that her name?
Okay.
Anyways, you know, she's experienced it, and the same types of things that we were talking about, the actual not belonging to either side, and not black enough, not white enough, and being called derogatory names,
And her
not
mom.
fitting in, not feeling like, and so it's so hilarious because like you just said, like, it's causing like a momentum. I'm looking at this show and it's called Mixed-ish. It's like a spin-off, I guess, from Blackish. So it goes back into how she was raised, his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And she saying, first episode on Mixed-ish is her going to high school and not fitting in with black people or not fitting in with white people and not wanting to conform to either side. Like her two siblings picked a side, but she didn't want to conform.
And it's interesting that you say that too, because I think two or 3 days after we had done ours, I was going through some of the podcasts that Jada Pinkett does with her mom and her daughter, the Red Table Talks. And they had somebody on there who had been adopted, a black girl who had been adopted by white parents, and just talking about her perspective and her journey and everything else, and like, you know, just where she's at and just, you know, how she's felt in this situation. And it was really interesting. And then Alicia Keys, her episode was very powerful, and same type of deals were going on. It's like it's really big.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it's
like
really big.
People again optically think that we have this great utopia, and really
Because it's my halo.
it's not easy.
It
not
ain't easy being
Well,
cheesy.
I guess now, like, of course, but she there's still people who are racist. Let's just be
That's
honest.
never going to stop.
Well, it should.
Not in this lifetime.
It should stop because.
Well, yeah, we know that, but it's not going to.
But it will, and it should.
And our great grandchildren?
No, I'm hoping that, like, I'm telling you, pretty soon everyone's going to be mixed, so there's not going to be a choice in the matter.
That's a whole different podcast, so.
But I'm just saying, like, I'm so happy that talking about it, you know, it's almost cathartic, like, getting it out, and then realizing you're not alone.
You are not alone. I am here with you. Though you're far away, I'm here to stay. You are not alone. Okay.
Are you okay?
No. No, I'm not. On that note, you guys.
You're the dancer, not the singer. Why do you always sing?
You are the figure skater.
But there's no ice. Where I'm from.
Yeah, that part.
There's no ice.
That's a problem. That's a problem. I can see why that
Well,
would be a problem.
it really hindered my career as a figure skater. And, you know, I can't go back now. Can't go back into time.
It's like me
What are you
saying,
doing?
I'm the dancer, but I have no legs. I have no
That
legs.
was rude and uncalled for, and it wasn't even the same analogy at all. Take it back.
I'm just wearing your
Apologize. What are you doing? My figure skating career was cut short at age 9 when I moved to Trinidad. I don't know what you're doing.
I'm trying to show it in the spotlight. Oh, it's upside down. Okay, anyway. Oh no. This is going horribly wrong.
Just because you got to go all the way with your ballet career, that really, I could have been like big, like in the Olympics.
I see that. This is like the Olympics of like 5-year-olds.
You know what? We're gonna go now because remember that invitation that I gave her for the beatdown? I RSVP'd. So it's coming.
Well, we're very proud of you. That
Just give me that. You weren't even born. You weren't even in existence. You weren't even a thought.
You guys be well. Thank you for coming in and spending some time with us. Leave us a message or don't. We'll see you next week. Peace and love.